Warning! We are about to spoil the movie Tenebrae. If you haven't seen the movie and you plan on watching it, leave now and come back later. But if you have seen it, or you just don't care, then please, stick around.
Oh my god. Okay. Can't believe I had to climb an entire skyscraper just to get away from those damn dogs. Son of a... Hello everybody and welcome back to Cinema Roulette. Alright, it's Giallo time again, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time for more goodness.
Welcome to Bigelow Argento November.
Yeah, seriously though, for some reason, just too Bigelow, too Argento, which is fascinating.
Random chance. It's weird.
Yeah. The wheel was actually nice to us this time because these movies were actually, for the most part, I feel thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah. And we're decent episodes that you can listen to on all podcasting apps and YouTube.
Yes. Check it out right now. Thank you for listening.
Check out right now, we say as they listen to the episode.
Yes.
The way I upload the podcast, there is technically a way to have set a teaser.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a part of me that now wants to jokingly just set that part as the teaser.
I mean, that's up to you, man. I wouldn't object to that. We're going to 1982 with Argento going back to his roots a little bit with Tenebrae.
Of annihilation. Murder.
Does it count as his roots if it's still kind of in his earlier era?
I guess not. I think he had already made Inferno and Suspiria by this point. So I know for Inferno he got Keith Emerson, but then he went back to Goblin again for this one. So I don't know. I mean, it's still technically in his classic era. So if people want to kind of chop it up, starting out with the Animals trilogy and then Suspiria, Inferno, and then Tenebrae, but that's only if people want to be really pedantic. I still consider this just his classic period.
I mean, if they're going to be Giallo fans, they might be more pedantic.
Yeah, that's true. But yes, Tenebrae, definitely an interesting movie that I do enjoy a lot.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Sorry, that was some good silence. We didn't mention it, so I thought we should.
We absolutely should. Yeah, wonderful silence right there.
It's like passing by cows. You have to say cows, or otherwise something bad might happen.
Yeah. It's like Punch Buggy, except see a cow punch someone.
That's just Punch Buggy, but cows.
Yeah. But yes, Tenebrae.
It was not to give away all opinions, this was actually quite a surprise how nice it was.
Yeah, for real. Because I definitely felt Opera was among his weaker movies of his classic period. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this one because I think I had only seen this once beforehand, so I didn't really remember the twist or anything, or a lot of the events that happened. So it was a pleasant surprise for me.
Neat.
Yeah. So,
but what's so neat about it? What happens in this movie, some may ask?
Yes, that's a very good question. It's a good thing we try to give a little synopsis here just to catch everybody up to speed.
Wait, we do?
Yeah. And you're the one that does it.
Oh. Okay, after finding my notes that we're totally prepared, Tenebrae. We open with someone enjoying a book called Tenebrae. just reading the lovely line saying how the only possible way to release the beast is murder.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure that's fine. They throw a book into the fire pit. We get a fucking sick opening song.
Hell yeah.
I feel bad for transition here because it's only like the start of the song where the title is. I would want to play more, but also I'm sure copyright bots might be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, we'd love to play more, but man, copyright's a bitch, especially nowadays. It used to be easier way back in the day.
Back in days of Blip TV.
Oh my god. That's a name I haven't heard in a
Hey,
long
Blip
time.
did give a shit. Editing is fun. We cut to New York City with a man with a tracksuit on, pedaling a bike on the highway because he's an asshole, I guess.
Yeah.
This is Peter Neal, which is funny because since this is a horror movie about with a horror author, I made a In the Mouth of Madness joke, which has Sam Neill as the main star.
Yep. And it's a horror.
Odd connection.
And it's a horror writer, and there's axes used later. Odd connection.
Oh yeah, I guess you can connect through the axes.
Yeah.
But Peter's heading to the airport because he's going to Rome, just to do some publicity, some interviews, because his book has been bestseller for I think they say 3 months.
Something like that. Yeah, it's doing banger money and shit. So sales.
However, before he gets on the plane, he's called to the like front desk because he has a call. His I forget if they say wife or fiance, but this is Jane, and she's calling wondering why Peter hasn't been around for a couple of weeks. And he's like, "Oh, I've been so busy. I'll call you later after my flight lands." He also just put his bag down when answering the phone. Like, his bag was away from him near a line of people, I'm assuming getting tickets or at least checking in.
Man, I love when I didn't have to worry as much about airport security.
Well, I don't know. Technically, the bag is gone when he gets away from the phone, but then he finds it a little bit down the way. I'm sure that's fine.
Yeah.
And then we see a woman dressed in black come out of a phone booth and stare as Peter's plane takes off.
Ooh.
This is Jane. We'll just get it out of the way now. That's Jane.
That's Jane.
We go on over to Rome, where we see a woman try. I keep hearing the echo of myself from your side.
Oh, that's weird. Let me try hanging up and coming back, see if that fixes it.
But we cut to Rome, where a woman named Elsa is looking at Peter's book. And then she tries to shoplift it, but the store owner quickly grabs her and is like, "Show me what's in your bag! Show me what's in your bag! I don't have it!" It falls out. "Come with me to my office." Elsa here is a notorious shoplifter, but she gets out of this by saying, "Well, I live here, and you can come by any time." And this works?
Yeah.
So Elsa rides side saddle on a motorcycle and heads home, walking past a dumpster, but a homeless person comes up and tries to attack her. Elsa runs off, gets to her house, and gets through the gate, shuts it behind her, after kicking the homeless guy in the nuts. She goes to her house, changes out of her white shirt into a white shirt now with no pants. I didn't catch that the first time we watched it.
Yeah.
But rewatching it, I was like, wait, that is a different white shirt.
That's hilarious.
She also looks back through like a window at the back of her house, says hi to her neighbor who's hanging up laundry, then closes the window. I guess that's all she does there.
Yep.
She's walking back to her front door, and the homeless guy is peeping in through the window. She panics, backs up right into the Giallo glove person.
Yep, the classic Giallo gloves.
Whoever the killer is grabs her and then holds a straight razor to her throat, somewhat cutting it, and then starts stuffing pages of Tenebrae into her mouth. and then slits her throat.
Yep.
It's a pretty flashy kill.
It is, yeah. There are a couple of good kills in this that I appreciated more, I think, looking back on them.
I realize I accidentally made a pun by calling it flashy, because the killer also takes pictures after she's dead.
Yes, exactly. That's his whole MO.
Don't spoil it's a guy.
Oh, sorry.
We didn't give a spoiler warning.
Let's cut that and do that again. Their MO.
No.
Fuck!
We gave a spoiler warning. It doesn't matter.
Damn it! All right.
Peter finally lands. He meets up with... Oh, what is John Saxton's character's name?
I'll find it in just a sec here.
Thank you. But he meets with his, basically his publisher, who's played by John Saxon, which we recognized right away, which was fun.
Yeah, he's the dad in Nightmare on Elm Street. Bulmer.
Or the... Bulmer, thank you. Or the chief of police in the original Black Christmas.
Yes.
So he has had horror cred.
Oh, yeah.
Even before this movie.
Yep.
But his publicist is like, yeah. Oh, and there's a bunch of reporters there waiting for interviews. Peter does a small interview with reporters, one of which who he's known for a while, calling him out as kind of a sexist because his book is about women being killed for being risque and whatnot. And he's like, I'm not a sexist. I'm just writing a story.
Yeah. It's just a made-up novel, guys.
This doesn't at all feel like a self-defense of the director. We'll get back to that. Luckily, his publicist steps is like, hey, we'll do a more private interview when you can talk one-to-one. We don't have all these other press people around. And Peter just got off a plane. His mind is in the right place to really think through your questions.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a scene where Bulmer talks about how great his hat is because he has like an old-timey fedora, basically.
It doesn't fall off your head. Wow, it's magic, man.
That's crazy. Peter heads to his car. We meet Johnny, which that is how you pronounce it, or that's how the American dub pronounces it, which is spelled Geani. Johnny.
Geani, Johnny. Yeah, wrap your head around that one.
I get it, but also it makes me angry. He also runs into Anne, who is his secretary. He's been helping set up the press tour and even got him a little apartment here in Rome so he can relax. They head to the apartment and the police are in there. Not with the lights on, mind you. They're just stalking around in the dark, and then all of a sudden they enter and they're like, hello, are you Peter Neal?
Yeah. The door was just open. We just let ourselves in. We didn't think it'd be that big of an issue.
We just let ourselves in and kept the lights off to look extra creepy.
Yeah.
We also got a POV of the killer leaving a note under the door. But the cops are here because they're like, hey, so weird thing. Someone died sort of similar to a way in your new book and also had pages of your book shoved down their throat to suffocate them.
Yeah.
Do you have an alibi by chance? And Peter's like, yeah, I just got off a plane. 2 hours ago, I was in the air. Like, okay, good. Peter even making a sly remark of, anytime someone dies from a Smith & Wesson, do you go interview the head of the company?
Yep.
And the cop also shows they found the letter on the floor. They show it to Peter, which it's the quote about murder from the opening of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The cop's just like, yeah, you're probably going to get another one, then maybe one more, possibly another one. It's fine. Cops are about to leave, and then Peter gets a phone call. He goes to answer it, and it's obviously the killer.
Yep.
Killer's talking about how Peter's helped them and that they're one and the same. They can work together. Peter, actually being smart, quickly signals to the cops to, like, hey, you go get on the phone. They are calling right now.
Mm-hmm.
Anne is even in front of there were two cops there. Anne's in front of the window, but the detective's partner pulls her back for a second and then steps in because the two look alike. They realize the killer's in a phone booth outside. The cops run downstairs, but when Peter mentions that he knows the murder, it scares the killer, like, how'd you know that? And they quickly ran. Cops aren't able to catch the killer, but hey, at least now we at least know Peter isn't the killer.
Yeah.
We then get a interesting scene where we see a woman on the beach with three men, and she's like kind of teasing them along as she strips. All the men come around her, grabbing at her legs, pressing up against her, and then a fourth guy comes up and slaps her hard enough to make her bleed from her lip. Her posse of boys goes and tackles the other boy, and she kind of stomps on his mouth with her red heels on the beach.
Yep.
Walking in heels is already hard. Why would you wear them on the beach?
Seriously, it'd like stick in the sand every time you try to walk.
But yeah, that happens. Cut to Tilda and her bisexual girlfriend. They're out at a club, and her girlfriend's like, "Hey, this guy's really coming on to me. I'm gonna take him back to the apartment. So if you could just take a little longer to get home." And Tilda's just like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Amazing crane shot. Well, Tilda gets home. Her girlfriend's home. They kind of have an argument. The girlfriend goes upstairs. Tilda goes and listens to music on a record player. No, she's just in a downstairs room. Her girlfriend turns on a sick goblin song because that's what people do in Rome.
Yeah.
We get a cool crane shot that is basically the killer's POV, and the killer murders the two. Back at Peter's apartment, Peter hits on someone who's like a neighbor of the apartment. She's also 16. And she like came to check on his water or something. It's a scene that also kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Honestly, now thinking about it, these three scenes in a row are just the loosest connection ever.
Yeah, like they are eventually tied together, but putting them like back to back to back was an interesting choice.
It certainly was a choice.
Yeah.
But we also keep getting killer POV because the killer is out in the hall trying to put another letter under Peter's door.
But God, there's plumbers in the way.
However,
or they,
yeah, the Mario brothers show up.
yeah.
So he has to hide in a closet. The cops are showing up. Jane shows up. It's a whole thing, but luckily the killer gets away. We also hear Jane and Peter, if we haven't already guessed, especially with the way Peter keeps treating Anne, their relationship is on the rocks or on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Which Peter even tries to call Jane, but she isn't home, even though she should be in New York. You're gonna punch past me in the fucking balls.
What happened?
There's some things where I'm like, I know this happens, and I wish I took a note to clarify more, and I didn't.
What's the note say?
Well, the note just straight up isn't there, and it's about the second note.
Oh, lovely.
But during this, the killer does get the note under a door, and eventually Peter notices it. They try to look out, but the killer has already run off. And the note says something in Latin about basically killing lesbians. However, Peter doesn't know Latin, so he's just like, well, the killer knows Latin.
Yeah, he's a highly educated man who knows Latin. I don't fucking know.
It's not like the Vatican's just drive away.
Yeah, it's true. It is kind of right there, isn't it?
Peter also has an interview with a guy named Cristiano. Yes, I do have to say it that way. What do you want? And Cristiano is really into his work. Even kind of seems a bit too into it, but we don't have to worry about that.
No.
Cut to a woman being left in the middle of the road, assumingly a date went wrong or something along those lines. So she's pissed. She's walking home, and all of a sudden there's a Doberman on the other side of a gate. She's like, "Well, fuck you too, dog." Even pokes a stick at it. This is the biggest mistake of her life because that dog is the most athletic fucking dog in the world.
Seriously, just climbs over a fence like it's nothing.
And not like a normal fence. This is like 2-3 people tall fence.
Yeah.
The dog jumps the fence and starts chasing her. We also saw the killer gang Ray in their little murder room with all the photos spread out. They left, and during this chase, we keep cutting between the two, and the killer realizes they forgot their keys.
Kind of a funny little detail. It's like, yeah, that could happen.
I like more of the detail because we don't see the killer's full body. It's very close up just on the hands.
Yeah.
But you can just mentally feel the reach in the pocket and going, "Oh, fucking damn it."
Yup.
So she's running from the dog, eventually, by pure coincidence, runs into the door to the killer's den, and the keys are in the door, so she's able again, locks herself in, and she thinks she's safe. Things become a lot more apparent. The dog is still outside, but also on this table here, there's pictures of dead bodies, basically all the newspaper scraps from the ransom-looking notes. And she's just like, oh.
Yeah.
She grabs some of the evidence and heads upstairs, and it's a pretty nice house.
Yeah, honestly.
Minus the murder basement, nice place.
Yeah.
However, the killer gets home. She runs into the backyard, is even able to close a glass door behind her and make the killer drop their razor blade. And the killer is saying like, "You're a spy. You're going to reveal me." Because killer be crazy.
Killers be crazy.
I want to punch myself for saying that.
Has the same energy as bitches be shopping.
Bitches do be shopping.
Hey.
However, she runs into the backyard, throwing only the most deadly weapon, crumpled up paper at the killer.
That'll get him. Paper cuts sting, man.
Sorry, I can only think of the JonTron quote where he pulls out the ham. This will kill him.
Yeah.
Taste paper, you swine. The spoilers, this doesn't work. The killer has an axe and and kills the shit out of her.
Yup.
Oh, okay, that's when the interview happens. I said, or the interview with Cristiano happens after this.
Okay.
My notes were right. I was wrong.
Oh.
But yeah, the kind of odd interview with Cristiano, it even puts Peter off, and him and Johnny decide to go look things over a bit more. He also decides not to tell the cops about this because he's just being kind of a dick.
Yeah.
But they go to Cristiano's house, and we also saw in the morning someone mowing the backyard and writing over the photos, so all the evidence was destroyed of the one lady's murder.
Yep, conveniently.
But Peter and Johnny get to the house and they sneak into the backyard. Viewers at this point know this is the killer's house, so Peter was right.
Yep.
Peter tells Johnny to get in closer one way, he's going to go around another way. And Johnny does get close. He gets to the to the glass door and back and sees Cristiano. However, the lights suddenly turn off. Cristiano is panicking and says something. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if in the Italian dub that this is a more censored. The one on Shudder we watched was the English dub.
Yes.
But it's going to be revealed later what Cristiano says here. However, you can hear it clearly in the English dub, and also if you have subtitles on, it clearly states what is said.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder if the Italian version's different. I mean, I have the Blu-ray, so I could always check it out sometime. Hello, everybody. Future Cameron here. So, I just wanted to confirm for Past Us that the Italian version of Tenebrae they do in fact say that he is the killer. The killer whispers, "It was me. I killed them" in the Italian version. And for some reason, they slightly changed the line, which is odd, but he still does, in fact, say it. Anything else?
I'm not here. Yeah, maybe double check it before this episode comes out, and I'll add something to be like, yes or no.
Yeah.
Since we hear it here, Cristiano said, basically admits to being the killer to whoever else is in the house.
Yep.
He's like, I could stop, just don't kill me. And sadly, whoever else is in there doesn't really want to listen. And stabs an axe through his head. This scares the shit out of Johnny for obvious reasons. He runs back and finds Peter with a bloody mark on the back of his head. He was knocked out by someone, most likely whoever broke into the house.
Yeah.
So to run off back to the hotel, we also go back to the weird dreamland, and the woman from the beach is at a party, and our POV is from some bushes, and whoever's in the bushes stabbles her in the stomach. Okay.
Yep, that happened.
We also find out Jane is, I think it's Jane, is having a affair with Bulmer. Because Bulmer was in the office, not Bulmer. Peter was in the office talking to Bulmer, leaves, and then his secret lover comes in and to make out. Jane's even like, do you think he knows? Nah, he doesn't know anything. Peter, as these kills are kind of stacking up and Peter clearly isn't the fucking killer, he tells the cops, hey, I'm gonna leave town. Shit's getting bad, and the killer probably wants me the most. The only person who's gonna know where I am is Anne.
Yeah. Actually, I think the police inspector asks him to leave, and then he's like, well, I was planning on doing that anyway.
Yeah, because they do find the body. Oh no, this is the body of Cristiano.
Yeah.
God brain. I have it pulled up on screen, looking right at it, and my brain's just like, duh. It's great to have the main person summarized, not able to read names. So Peter fucks off. Bulmer is... Well, Jane is sent a pair of red heels, like the woman from the Dreamland. We see Bulmer weighing in the street, most likely for Jane. We don't really get to know why he's there, and it's a nice little bit of Italian life. A little day in Rome as we see people arguing, kids playing, a killer coming up and stabbing him. Wait.
Hold on a second. Yep.
That's not as great. For him, at least. But the killer comes up and stabs Bulmer in the stomach, and he bleeds out before anyone even sees who did it. This is where the twist is supposed to be of what Cristiano said, as Johnny has just been completely fucking traumatized.
Mm-hmm. Just completely riddled with PTSD.
And like even to the point where he has flashback. At one point, he's driving Peter somewhere, and he gets a flashback to the murder and almost gets them killed in an intersection by driving through a red light.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly realistic depiction of it, and I actually appreciate that in the movie.
since Johnny needs to know, he goes back to Cristiano's place, and then he remembers what was said. It's like, wait, Cristiano was the killer, so who killed Cristiano? Goes back to his car, but sadly the killer is there and murders him.
Strangles them in the seat.
And we cut back to Anne, who gets a call from Jane. Jane admits she's been in Rome. Actually, Anne did spot her earlier as well and bring up, like, yeah, Jane is running around Rome. I tried to catch her, but she didn't. She ran off before I could. And as we're narrowing down who the other killer can be, Jane calls up Anne and is like, okay, I've been here. Can you come over? I don't feel safe. And Anne's like, sure, of course. I'll be right there. But then we see Jane has a gun. Ba, ba, ba. But it's okay. She's disarmed pretty quickly because the killer is here and chops off her arm, and like a samurai movie, just sprays everything.
All over the wall, just blood splatter. It's crazy.
The cops are. The cops arrive. Nope, sorry. We're cutting back between Anne. We cut back to Jane being chopped up. It looks like Anne running into the house. The killer stabs her to the ground and just keeps going. And then the cops show up. And Anne shows up.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't Anne. It was the detective's partner. And the person doing the stabbing is Peter.
Yep.
Cristiano, we get part of our twist here of Cristiano was the killer. But Peter, who knew Jane and Bulmer were cheating on him behind his back, decided that, hey, if people don't know who the killer is yet, I can keep it going and get rid of people who I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
The detective tries to arrest Peter, but Peter slits his throat with a razor blade in front of them as they watch the blood shoot out. The detective is like, okay, you're a civilian. We're just gonna get out of here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone here's dead. We can wait for backup. The detective brings Anne back to his car and explains further that Peter used to live in Rhode Island, where a murder happened and he was blamed for it, but they didn't have enough evidence to prove anything. This is the flashbacks we've been seeing throughout the movie.
Yeah, so it turns out Peter was the person who stabbed the woman in the beach from the bushes.
The detective decides to go and return to the crime scene. And you know, there's Anne's by, his partner's by, his peer's by, he's gone. Wait a second.
There's the bloody razor blade breath behind, but where's the body?
He picks up the razor blade and he sees a little button on, and it's a theater razor blade. Also, probably the actual razor blade that they use to do the effect.
Oh yeah, which is fun.
Yeah, but if you press the button, then blood squirts out. So he fakes slaying his own throat, and a fucking awesome shot. It's such a chilling sort of reveal, but the detective bends down to grab it, and you see Peter behind him.
Yes.
Peter gets in a scuffle with the detective, eventually killing him, but Anne hears this and starts coming to the house. However, in the scuffle, a statue falls over and presses against the front door. So Anne's trying to get in. Peter, fully psychotic at the moment, is waiting on the other end for her to come in so he can kill her. But as the door finally opens, the statue falls and impales him through the back. Because this is just a pillar of metal spikes.
Yeah. Big giant pillar that heavy, that'll do that.
Yeah, that'll do it to you. Peter gets accidentally impaled. He dies and is left screaming. The movie ends.
Yep. And that was Tenebrae. Yeah, goodness, it's good to get back to Argento movies that are like really solid.
I mean, Opera was really solid. It's just the ending fucked it. And this almost fucked it.
Almost, yeah. This is an interesting case where it's kind of the opposite, where like the last 5-10 minutes kind of save the movie because it's such a rad horror sequence.
Well, it was more that, like, just the twist of Peter doing the final murders.
Yeah.
That felt like a okay, sure.
Hmm.
But when it came back that he faked his death and then he kills the detective, that was like a very classic horror twist.
Yes, I really enjoyed that because that was Dario Argento, all about the twist. So, um, but yeah, so where should we even start with this one?
I Since we're still on the ending scene here, I kind of want to stick with it because
Yeah.
the unlike Argento's other work that we've watched, this one is probably the most muted color palette wise.
Yeah, definitely. And I read that he actually deliberately did that with the sets. Give me a second here while I find what I was talking about. Yeah, this is it. Giuseppe Bassan, a frequent Argento collaborator, was the film's production designer. The surroundings are given a bleached, quote unquote, merciless look made from marble and stone facades, shiny metallic sculptures with steel, water, and glass surfaces. Some of the homes, specifically those of the lesbian couple and the first killer, are cold, austere, brutalist slabs of granite, and many of the interior shots feature plain white backgrounds with the characters wearing pale colored clothes against them to contrast the blood once the violence started.
And that works great, especially the ending here after Jane gets her arm chopped off. Again, it's spraying like a samurai movie, and it really lets the color just burst off the screen.
Yeah, it's like the biggest burst of color in the movie, or at least the most sudden one. It's just shocking and great.
It it's not horrifying, but it makes it really fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's just interesting because, yeah, there was a deliberately muted color scheme, and he plays with that really well as a contrast to a lot of his other cinematography, which is a lot more, colorful with deliberately vibrant colors.
Yeah,
And
it also just kind of made it a good climax too, because we've been so used to these neutral, less saturated colors, and then it's
yeah.
just red paint fucking everywhere.
Yeah, like the last 10 minutes or so, that's where Argento kind of goes fully Argento, and it's great. And yeah, that two shot is awesome. And that two shot, the one where he bends down is so smooth too, because they're both pretty thin figures. So like when you can see him actually like walking into frame and kind of moving around, and then when he bends down, he's just behind him. So the way he blocked that scene to have him like perfectly lined up against his silhouette was just so cool.
Yeah, it's not like I haven't seen that scare before technically, but it was still just so well done.
Yeah, fun shot.
Uh, which that also can kind of lead into the use of doubles throughout this, which can be a bit of a hindrance at times.
Yeah, I agree, but yeah, I mean, I know that was
Like,
kind of deliberate, but still.
yeah, like it's deliberate for Anne looking like the other officer because that, well, one, that helps with the ending twist, but also it's cleverly shown as I'm pretty sure I mentioned during the
Yeah.
first phone call from the killer where they switch out, which watching the movie a second time, I was like, oh, you do set that up. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm sure I need to rewatch it again, but yeah, this movie definitely has some clever foreshadowing, which is fun.
I meant to find it, but I got kind of distracted by other things. I know after the second dream sequence, Peter says something that I think hints to those being his memories.
Yeah, something like that, like his repressed memories. And fun fact, actually, the girl on the beach,
Hmm.
her name is Eva Robbins, and she's transgender.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
she was transgender by the age of 21, and so yeah, she actually in that movie is legit trans, which is awesome.
But but Cameron, trans people didn't exist until the woke agenda
Yeah,
in 2017,
right. Like,
which actually, hold on, I need to circle back slightly. The one problem that, at least for first viewing, that can happen is Jane looks like the first person killed, and I thought that's who it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little something that I was like, huh, okay.
And Jane is Daria Nicolti. No, that's Anne. Sorry.
Is that Argento's wife?
Well, yeah, wife, girlfriend at the time, or whatever.
Actually, I did a little bit of research. She was in an interview, and a reporter was like, How are you not uncomfortable with your husband constantly killing you in his movies? And all her answer was, I do it so well, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any problems because there's a lot good to this movie, so I'm just see if there's any problems to get out of the way.
Yeah, like not immediately. Like,
Yeah, I can't think of any.
yeah, just
Nothing that stands out as annoying or angering.
mhm. And fun fact, Argento reportedly offered the lead role of Peter Neal to Christopher Walken, but eventually went to Anthony Francesca, the guy who does play it.
I This would be younger Walken. I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it working.
I can kind of see it too, yeah. But it's interesting because Kim Newman felt that Francesca's casting was fortunate as he was capable of bringing more to the role than the script asked of him. He also believed that if Walken had been cast, it would have been more obvious that he was the killer.
Yeah, Walken's kind of a Jack Nicholson, The Shining.
Yeah, exactly. Like you tend to suspect him a bit more than who they eventually got to play. Who I actually really like, Anthony. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right, Francesca or whatever it is, because he does a really good job of playing the crazed killer at the end.
Oh yeah, when he fully snaps, it's kind of great.
Yeah, and just in general. Sorry, you were gonna say.
Well, you can finish your thought in general.
Well, I was gonna say I was just moving on to the cinematography a little. I thought the cinematography was really well done, as usual.
Oh, oh yeah, the camera work is great, and a lot of fun was had. Especially, we gotta talk about the crane shot, don't we?
Oh, we absolutely have to talk about the crane shot. Because yeah, it says influenced by the penultimate shot in Antonioni's The Passenger '75, on which Tivoli had also been the cinematographer. One of Tenebrae's main set pieces is the murder of the lesbian couple. To introduce the scene, Argento and Tivoli employed the use of a Luma crane to film a several minutes long tracking shot. Owing to its extreme length, the tracking shot ended up being the most difficult and complex part of the production to complete. It required a maze of scaffolding to be built around the outside of the home. Argento apparently captured all the footage he needed in 2 takes, but insisted on filming 10 more.
100%. I mean, after all that setup, understandable.
Yeah, exactly. The scene, which lasts for 2.5 minutes on screen, took 3 days to shoot.
For those who decide to just listen to the episode without seeing the movie or haven't seen it, the shot goes from, hold on, let me look at her name again. Talia downstairs, goes out a window, up and around the building, sees her girlfriend changing upstairs, goes back down and into the building.
Yeah, it like goes down above the building and you see the killer like breaking in through the window or whatever.
Yeah.
And
it's like, even only lightly knowing camera technicalness,
yeah,
it's fucking impressive to look at.
It really is.
And it's all one shot too, so it's just like, you went through all this fucking trouble to have it literally scan the top of the roof, come back down, go back in. A lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And fun fact, that was for the heavily cut American version, one of the scenes they wanted to cut from it, but it actually ended up being left in. According to McAllister, Tenebrae's American distributor begged Argento to cut the shot down because it was quote-unquote meaningless.
Fuck off, god damn.
Seriously, though.
I know editing, what was I about to say?
I know something like that.
I know in opera, I agreed with the cut of the ending, but this is also where I fully understand why Argento was probably pissed with American editing.
Oh yeah, 100%. They just had a habit of cutting down his films.
No, you don't need this impressive crane shot.
Yeah.
Just murder them.
Nah.
I will say, I guess it's not super negative, but it's interesting. It's the clear stand-in of Argento when Peter is getting interviewed.
Oh, 100%, because he had gotten that in the media too. Like, is it sexist? You kill a lot of people in very long, drawn out ways. It's like, no.
Which, like, you I understand you do not do it with the intent of coming off as sexist.
Yeah.
However, I mean, even like having the trans actor, having the lesbians, they're painted in a decent as just normal people. They're even the Peter in the when the cops start asking about like, did you have lesbians killed in your book? It's like they get killed, but I try to paint them as human. They're I
Yeah.
don't say that this is evil. It's that's coming from the perspective of the killer who's fucking crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. And Dario Argento was kind of just always progressive in that manner. We'll see more of that in Deep Red, in fact. So,
Which yes, he is progressive for having it, but still treating them as just the murder cattle still can read the wrong
yeah.
way.
So I can get that. And, like, this was the 80s, and, like, a gay person in a horror movie kind of had to die, but, you know,
Or they were the killer.
or they were the killer, something like that. Trying my best not
But
to.
yeah, it's like not to spoil things,
Yeah.
but it's like he gets up to the edge where he's about to kind of face some of the things he usually does in movies, and then immediately it's just like, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
It's like you're right there to having a bit more some self-awareness to it, but then
Yeah.
you kind of defend yourself a lot more.
Yeah. Kind of fall into the standards anyway. But
I don't take it as the it's not something that pisses me off. I'm not gonna be like fucking Argento wasn't
yeah.
woke enough or something along those
No.
lines or progressive enough. It's just like kind of funny to me looking at it and be like, oh come on, you're right there. You're about to notice a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And also that I guess one other problem is the fact that dub gives away one of the twists when it's clearly supposed to be revealed later.
Yeah. So that's definitely an issue. But yeah, I mean that's just kind of the line you walk when you have like different movie released in different languages.
Yeah, and also even still revealing it there brings up the brings it for the audience at least to be like, okay, then wait, who's the other killer?
Yeah, I was gonna say it reveals part of the twist, but not like fully the twist, which is why I think it's not as heinous.
Also, there is the logic gap of how did Peter run into the house, kill him, and somehow get back to the spot and hit himself in the back of the head
Yeah,
before Johnny made it there?
unless he already hit himself in the head, not enough to knock him out, and then went in, killed him, came out, and just acted like he was knocked out.
He still would have to probably run a longer distance than Johnny did.
Yeah, most likely. So that's a little but
But whatever. Suspension of disbelief.
yeah,
It's not an actual issue. It's just a
no,
nitpick.
yeah, exactly. So
But yeah, the story is good. I thought a lot of the red herrings were actually really good.
yeah, they were actually really well done. It's not like some other giallos where it's just red herring after red herring after red herring. It actually they make sense.
Like I really thought Jane was going to be the killer until she's attacked.
Yep.
Even the killer's voice on the phone sounded more female, and then when in person it was male, so that even gets tossed into question.
Yep. Just yeah, really well written. So definitely much better written than opera. So
Yeah, with a much more like the second twist again is kind of iffy until it just picks back up by going fucking crazy.
yeah. And
But
that
the twist was a lot better. The build up to it was good.
yeah, just had a lot of fun with it. So I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that we put this on the wheel because I hadn't seen, like I said, only saw it once and didn't think too much of it. But I guess I must just not have been paying attention because I enjoyed it a lot more the second time.
Yeah. Also, the kill of John Saxon's character. I kind of like the breather moment we have just kind of seeing Rome.
Mm-hmm. Just the beautifulness of it.
we just it's something I've realized while watching more movies from like the 80s or 70s is movies forget to breathe a lot these days.
Yeah, exactly. When you're at this location, just having like moments like that where they're just kind of walking around, taking in the surroundings, it kind of adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah, it makes the world feel more real before we go crazy with a dog that will jump several fences or
Yeah. That scene is still crazy. Argento had a thing with dogs. We can't quite pinpoint what that is, but he did.
I just love how it it becomes almost a dark comedy with how much this dog wants this woman
It
dead.
really does. So spiteful. You poke a stick at me, I am chasing you down to the ends of the earth.
Jumps several fences, chases her through the woods, is still outside of the house waiting for her to come out.
Yeah.
It's like fucking hell, dog.
Honestly.
I think it just waddled home.
Yeah, probably just tail between its legs, like, But,
It's like, okay, I guess you don't
Yeah.
want to play no more.
fine. And the soundtrack by Goblin is always phenomenal. So, like I think I said this during the movie.
Good.
Oh yeah, Goblin and Argento were just a match made in heaven.
Are you sure he wasn't part of the band? Because I swear I've heard people say he was.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he had a hand in forming them, but I don't think he was actually part of the actual band. I don't know. I'd have to look more into that.
No, he was just apparently, quick Google search says he was just a frequent collaborator.
Nice.
But a lot of people still refer to it as Dario Argento's band, probably because he hired them so often.
Yeah. And I think whatever the latest lineup of Goblin, because I think some of them are still touring, and I think they call it like Dario Argento's Goblin or something.
Okay, sure.
Something like that, or like influenced by Dario Argento, or I don't know.
Paying homage.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to cover, huh?
Yeah, this was just a really good murder mystery.
Oh yeah, really dug it. So
There is some, like fucking 70s, 80s sexism or the
Yeah.
needless amount of nudity.
yeah,
But if you're getting into horror movies, you're going to somewhat get used to that.
yeah, like especially if you kind of grew up watching '80s horror movies like me and you did.
It's true.
But gratuitous sex, surgery, and violence.
I will also say the homeless person witnesses the first murder, and that never comes up again.
Yeah, that was weird because I was thinking, okay, we have a witness now. No, he just kind of fucks off and disappears.
Yep, bye.
Lol, bye.
That one was a bad red herring, I guess.
Yeah, the only real weak red herring in the movie. It's the homeless.
It's the homelessness.
Oh, wow, that's a reference going way back there that no one else is going to get.
It was literally an in-joke, so I doubt they would, yeah.
It's one guy in the crowd. I remember. No, you don't, you liar.
But that is it for the director's wheel for a good bit, and I guess till February. I don't know, how many weeks do we have in December?
Yeah, I don't know if it's 4 or 5. Let me check.
Yeah, I already pulled up the wheel recording, so I can't click my calendar out.
December. Let's see. The first is on Monday. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 weeks in December. So let me see. Friday is when we release, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. 5th, 12th, 10th, 19th. Okay, so there's four Fridays in December because that next Friday after is January 2nd.
And also we have our anniversary episode coming out on the 24th, which,
Yes.
again, we'll talk about that more later.
Oh, yeah.
Because we can't cover just movies we love. We'll have to save those for, like, 100th episodes.
Yes. I think I do have one in mind, though. So.
I mean, there's one I brought up that we mentioned in the first episode and we still have not covered.
Oh, yeah, we could do that, too. Okay, we got options.
We do. But you know what else has options?
What's that?
The series. Oh, wait. I almost forgot.
Ah.
We have, as we've always done for every episode, and there has never been a miss, we need to rate this movie.
Yes.
And of course, we're using our normal rating system inspired by Siskel and Ebert of thumbs up, thumbs down. What would you rate this movie, Cameron?
So that was the one we had. Okay.
Yeah, it's the one we've always had.
Definite 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I'd give this 2 thumbs way up as well.
Yeah.
This is just a fun time. This is also a very good, like, if the person can handle gore and a little bit of kind of needless nudity,
Yeah.
this is a good starter horror film. This is good for like a Halloween party because it's silly but it's still interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. So definitely good for Halloween, getting introduced to genre and possibly branching out into Giallo as well.
Yeah, I guess it would also be a great start for foreign horror because for some reason Italy was really good at dubs in the 70s and 80s.
Oh yeah, it's impressive just how well their lips match. Like the ADR work is phenomenal.
But anyway, what else has options is the series wheel or the sellout wheel, whichever I feel like calling it that episode. We have a bunch of series people know, people love, and we're going to spin a wheel, whatever sequel we have next with it, or if we want to start fucking Alien sometime soon, we will. Also, I will say we said we were going to put Mission Impossible on here. We are doing something different at the moment because Alien has not been landed on. If it doesn't get landed on next 4 spins, we're just taking it off the wheel.
Yeah, and to give it a slightly higher chance, we're not putting Mission Impossible back on yet.
Yeah, and also not this 4 goes, but afterwards, the next 4 goes, we're also going to have something a little bit different with Bond on here because there is 25 of those movies and we've only covered 2.
Yep.
So anyway, it is time to spin. Well, that's going to be an R1 off the wheel, at least.
Ooh, what we get?
The wheel is staying very consistent, and we're doing Back to the Future Part 3.
Woo! Yeah! All right, baby. I love that movie.
I remember liking it more than 2, but it's been a long time. Maybe it's terrible.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't be. There's only one way to find out, and that's coming back next week.
That's right. If you want to listen to us go on about that, check us out.
Sorry, I'm laughing because trying to do something that sounds like a professional podcast makes me think like, you have not sounded professional this entire time. Why start now?
Why start now? Yeah. Oh, shit. We make fun of our own incompetence all the time.
No, Cameron, we can't take criticism.
Nope, impossible taking criticism. I think we got potential, but
I don't know if I'm going to keep that as a running joke or not.
Maybe this is the last time because it kind of hurts when the running joke is no longer available to the public.
It's true. Well, that makes it funnier to us because they don't know what it's from.
That's also true.
I just punched a wall by accident.
Oopsies.
Anyway, that will be next time.